again. This is the Fantasy Football Zone, your home for everything fantasy football.
All right. Hi and welcome to the Zone. This is the Fantasy Football Zone. Of course, your home for everything fantasy football. My name is Dinosaurus.
And it's the ideal guy, and I'm back again.
Back again like you never left.
Like I never left.
Mr. Ideal Guy, how are you doing?
No, I'm good. It's been a good break as well off of the zone, but I'm glad to be back. And
Wonderful.
What's cooking around on the zone while I was away?
No, glad to have you back. The show is becoming more fire.
Amazing.
So
you guys have been doing
make sure
good.
you don't miss too many episodes, eh?
Good.
All right. Thank you so much for making the time, to everyone who's joined us on this show. Of course, today we are doing the review show, being a Monday. We look at the action that was in the game week that just passed, react to some, interesting talking points, and of course, learn from the game week so that we can see how we can prepare ourselves better for the next game week that is just soon to come. All right, I think Adiga, we can jump right into it.
That's right.
Game week 5. I mean, what can you say about game week 5? If you were to sum it up in one word.
One word is that's crazy. That's crazy, but hey, okay. Interesting, maybe. Interesting.
I think my word would be unpredictable. My word would be unpredictable.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of
for some.
Yeah, a lot of the results we were hoping, especially from an FPL point of view, didn't quite pan out.
Sure.
The stars of the game week were. It was a game week of differentials. It was one of those where it's the differentials who shine, and the templates maybe just sit aside and watch. This was one of those game weeks. I think we can jump right into the fixtures and see how the games panned out, and look at some interesting results that maybe caused us to experience that kind of challenge. So the game week started on Friday, as you can see. Newcastle United versus Leeds United.
Yeah,
very, very, very entertaining match, but of course the goals were not as much as we expected. We expected it to have a winner, given that these two teams have not yet won a game in the season so far. So we thought they would both be going for the jugular to get those 3 points, but it ended up being a stalemate. 1-1.
See that Rafinha goal?
Yes. Hey, that ref. It was a stupendous goal.
What?
But
it looked like a training ground thing, though.
I credit that goal to Rodrigo. Because Rodrigo had the instinct to, especially as a forward, for him to leave it and see where it goes. Because every forward would want to get something on it,
It's true.
But it was a
but I think I personally think that was a team like a kind of training ground move. for that to actually happen to confuse the keeper and his movement. I don't know.
No, but honestly, Rafinha was crossing that ball. Rafinha was not
Yeah.
shooting.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
Rafinha was
But
laying.
I think Rodrigo just read the situation and just
it was instinctive. It was instinctive.
yeah.
But interestingly, you saw Rafinha with the points, Bamford with the assist, as well as Saint Maximin with the points. I mean,
And
the
I had
game week
both of
started
them.
on a high. The game week started on a high for the likes of you.
Yeah.
The likes of us who were just on the sidelines on Friday. Of course, we were already panicking. But lo and behold, let's look at the
and we're
fixtures
coming
on
to
Saturday.
that.
Let's look at the fixtures on Saturday. We see what Saturday brought along.
Yeah.
Of course, some surprise results on Saturday.
Yep.
Especially that first game, Wolves versus Brentford. I mean, Brentford are turning out to be a surprise package already.
Yeah, especially defensively.
Yeah, and they've kept 2 clean sheets in 2 matches that you wouldn't have expected. Against Arsenal and then against Wolves.
Yeah,
all of us were going for the Wolves assets, the likes of Traore and Jimenez and Saiz, knowing that this would be a Wolves win straightforward. But lo and behold, the tables were turned.
Yeah.
Okay, and then that Burnley Arsenal fixture, another beautiful strike to win the game.
Yeah, I mean Odegaard, wow. I think that was a highlight for me. That of course this weekend being my team and all that, but again, I mean we needed this. We needed an ray of hope. I mean, we couldn't have stooped so low up to I think we're just crawling back, and I just love the way we're doing it, slow but sure. However,
it's good to build the momentum for sure.
Yeah.
And you say it was the highlight for you. Then I don't know what to call it. It must have been an explosion for me because I had Odegaard in my team, So I was not only celebrating Arsenal win, but then that free kick was like, music to my soul.
You know what? I actually started watching that game from the second half. I didn't know who scored. I just knew it was 1-0. No, towards the end of first half. So I just noticed, and I'm like, it's Odegaard. I'm like, no, this guy, you have to be kidding. And Oba is getting chances, and I'm like, hey, okay, then he's gonna shine.
Aubameyang was a disappointment.
Again.
Those we'll look at that when you look at the teams.
Yeah.
So Arsenal getting the win, scraping away with the win there. Narrowly, of course, with the penalty scare from Ramsdale's tackle.
Yeah.
And then the template 3-0 win for Liverpool against Crystal Palace.
You know what?
Yeah.
How does Trent and Robo just don't play at the same time?
No, we will look at that in depth when we're looking at our teams. But that's why I was telling you, unpredictable. Nobody predicted that lineup, Nobody foresaw that kind of situation. And this is the other shocking result of the weekend. Man City held to a 0-0 draw by Southampton at the Etihad Stadium. I mean, wow.
Remember, this is a team that has just scored, I think, 10 goals in the last 2 Premier League games at home.
Yeah.
5-5, and then come all of a sudden and draw.
Yeah, and Southampton are not necessarily, defensively astute yet.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a shocking result, but good shocking for me because the only Man City asset I happened to own was a defender. So
everywhere you were just picking up points, bro.
Let's look at the other games, and then we had Watford, of course, thrashing Norwich City 3-1. This was not so much a surprise result, but I guess the biggest surprise was the guys who got the points from that Watford team. And Timu Puki finally got his goal. That's his second goal in the league now, I think.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a Puki party for us to watch out for. Maybe not.
Wow.
The last fixture of Saturday, Aston Villa facing off against Everton. I mean, wow. What do you have to say about this one? Nobody saw that 3-0 win coming.
Nobody saw it coming, but I think Aston Villa really played a good game.
Yeah, they
as well.
needed that result actually because they
They needed it.
they were underperforming.
They're struggling,
Yeah.
and they're struggling, and of course, everyone, of course, will talk about them lacking Grealish and the new signings really not gelling and all that. But however, I think they really needed this result to just kind of get that momentum and just get going as well. But I think
Yeah.
also Everton needed this shock as well because there was so much, they were flying.
Yeah, the surprise was the manner in which Everton lost. I mean,
Yeah.
nil, and the way these guys have been, clinical in front of goal. They've been playing really good football. I expected them at least to, show some fight,
score
show
something.
fight.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that was another more or less surprising result. And then we go to Sunday, a lot of drama on Sunday, especially we can just start with that
Brighton.
First of all, Brighton Leicester. Actually, Brighton Leicester and Man United and West Ham played at the same time. That was a goal rush scenario.
Yeah.
And Leicester, of course, did not expect what Brighton had in store for them. I mean, none of us expected. But that's showing you, I think, the home fans effect to some extent. We are looking at some of these teams being a bit more difficult to play at home because, of course, the fans are back. And Brighton definitely benefited from that. And then the most dramatic game, Man United versus West Ham. I mean, this game had everything. Sugar, spice, and everything nice.
These were the Powerpuff Girls.
I'm telling you, we had at this point we are coming to expect a goal from Cristiano. Of course, he scored a really good goal. It was a tap-in, but the fact that he's the one who had the
I think everything about that goal was more about his movement. His movement is just extremely good. Just coming off, of course, the offside line and just dropping in and back, and Bruno
and
just
he's
finds
looking
him.
really sharp. He's looking really sharp. I mean,
and he's getting chances.
I pity the likes of you who don't yet have him in your team. That's
three goals after that game.
You've missed 3 goals now from Cristiano
after that
Ronaldo.
game.
I wonder what you're waiting for. Anyway, the biggest talking point, of course, the second biggest talking point, of course, that Jesse Lingard strike. What a goal! What a goal!
What an introduction.
It came just at the right time because he was getting a lot of stick from the mistake that he did against Young Boys in the Champions League on Tuesday. So it was nice of him to redeem himself. It was nice of him to sort of, cancel those evil, that negative energy around him. And what a way to do it. I mean,
wow,
that was
a good goal. It was a beauty, but again, also I think it was, as well, there's a certain winning mentality that United have, and I think we're watching the game with you, and I'm like, I think United is going to steal this. And it just came to pass, and what a strike from Lingard. It could have come from anyone, It could have been a penalty, one of the penalties that Ronaldo probably was denied, It could have just come from
and honestly, I'm thinking Lingard should perhaps be above Jadon Sancho in the pecking order, because Sancho seems like he's having a hard time coping, adapting to the league. Of course, we know this happens to everyone, but for some reason, guys are not talking about how Lingard is flopping. At this point, I think 2 seasons ago, Pepe was getting all kinds of memes because of not having any goal involvement.
You mean Sancho? Yeah, but yeah.
I mean Pepe. When he came in for 72 million.
Yeah.
When Pepe came in for 72 million, he got a lot of stick off the bat, actually.
Yeah, and I personally feel, of course, but I think also just the style of play is trying to adapt to the style of play, and of course, many people at the beginning of the season were trying to see, should I have Sancho instead of having Bruno? But man, that's a worst idea that could actually happen right now.
And then we can talk about what Mark Noble did coming off the bench to.
Let's start with the penalty. they get a penalty.
Was a penalty. It was a penalty.
It was a penalty. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a definite penalty. I think Man United got an exact kind of penalty last season against Brighton. The one that was called after playing time was over. You remember?
No, but
it is an
that
exact
was,
kind of penalty where from across, someone had their hand in an unnatural position, penalty. And Bruno comes to score it when the whistle has already gone. So I feel like it was an outright penalty, but of course, Mark Noble.
Okay, first of all, this game had a lot of drama. I think it was so dramatic to just be able to see. First of all, Declan Rice was just ready to take the penalty, and then you see Moyes is like, you know what, just come, Noble, come and take. Okay, he's the best penalty taker they have, but I mean, he comes on, of course, all pumped up and everything, and gives such an obvious penalty.
No, it was such a poor penalty. It was such a poor penalty.
Anyway, that game had everything,
Man United benefit, but given the run of fixtures that Man United are about to face in the next few game weeks, 7 game weeks or so, I think they needed that win, because I have a feeling those wins are going to be few and far in between.
Andrea.
Anyway, so that was game week 5, basically how the action unfolded.
Chelsea.
Oh yeah,
Tottenham.
Sorry, I even forgot about that one. You know, Tottenham hardly played a match. It seemed like a training match for Chelsea, you know, for the most part. I mean,
what was interesting is how when Nuno was asked, what do you think about the game? He was just talking about, we had a good game first half. And okay, he had a good game, yes, but after that, there were nothing. They brought on Kante, Chelsea brought on Kante, and the game was just dead. You know, it's like these guys are non-existent. They swept the floor with them, just slapped them up and down.
Like expression says, they were put in a spliff. Stevie Wonder MC. They can't see nothing. Tottenham were embarrassing. And let me tell you, I feel like I'm not too excited by the fact that they played that terribly, because in the North London derby, they'll need to show something. I feel like they'll
need to turn up.
They feel like because now the pressure is on them. You know, the pressure has been turned. It's not the loss. It's the manner in which they lost. Yeah, it's the manner in which they lost. You know, and I think that makes the North London derby a really scary fixture, because these guys are going to be wounded and they're going to be looking for some vengeance, you know.
Yeah, but it also tells you how good Chelsea is as a team, and no one would want at the moment. They're facing City next, and wow, let's wait
and see. I'm really curious to see how they play against Chelsea, because at this point they've brushed off Arsenal, they've brushed off Liverpool with a 10-man team. Actually, Liverpool looked like they were not doing anything against a 10-man Chelsea team. Of course, they've brushed off Tottenham, and I think Man City is now going to be the test. Man City, of course, have their challenges at this point in time, but let's see how Chelsea play against Man City. And remember last season, Chelsea won all matches against Man City, including the biggest one, the Champions League final. Man City should have something to say about that, at least this season. But it's really pegged to be a very interesting fixture. That's basically how the games unfolded for game week 5. We can jump right into our teams and see how all those results translated.
I think with all due respect, let me just go first.
Please.
With all due respect,
I think we can look at the ideal guys team. I like that expression.
Well, not too bad. Of course, I had a couple of green arrows. Of course, in my team. I mean, for me, the standouts, of course, were Alonso, especially in defense. Alonso, I think, should have actually come out of that game with 1 or 2 goals.
Let's talk about Alonso for a minute.
Yeah.
That Alonso signing. I mean, right now, I'm just thinking about Alonso. If it's not Man City next, I would even take a hit to bring that guy. That guy would have gotten like 2 assists and a goal and a clean sheet to boot.
Exactly. I'll be smiling in 20-something points at the moment. He had a performance.
No, this player, This player is a must-have. And you remember when Antonio Conte used Alonso in that fullback position, that attacking fullback position. That guy was devastating, you know. And Tuchel, I think Tuchel watched those reviews.
Yeah.
And he knows what works at Chelsea, and he's doing.
I mean, he has everything: delivery, his movement, as well as his positioning in the box. He has
and
presence.
He's a goal threat. Do you know in the league he's one of, I think, perhaps the most instinctive fullback in the sense that majority of these fullbacks, when you look at the likes of Robertson, especially the left-sided fullback, when you look at Robertson, when you look at Luca Digne, when you look at Kieran Tierney, when you look at Luke Shaw, right?
Yeah,
most of these people are oriented towards assisting than scoring. It's like whenever they're in a dangerous position, they will want to do the cutback, make the cutback,
assist,
as opposed to shoot. But Alonso first thinks about shooting before anything else, you know.
I mean, he's deadly. He's a goal threat. He's a set piece threat as well on free kicks. You know, so I mean, he's good.
That was a brilliant signing right there.
I've had him for 2 weeks, and he's given me points in all those 2 weeks. So maybe we get back to my team. So as well, Ben White as well in my team had. I mean, of course, had a poor game, but gave me, of course, 1 bonus point. That was a standout. Disappointed by Trent not playing. Shaw as well, of course, no clean sheet. Sanchez as well getting 1 point. That is, of course, also just.
I told you there's no way Sanchez can keep a clean sheet against Leicester.
He was supposed to. I think that, but anyways, that move, I think by Leicester was also good. Though they would actually have lost that game. I actually think so. But anyways, in my midfield, I think I've decided to keep Rafinha ever since the beginning of the season, and now it's starting to pay off. Of course, that goal, and of course, is now flagged yellow. Hopefully, he's okay. Talk about Jota is flopping. You know, he had a very clear opportunity to just score, and I honestly don't know what that was. Very lethargic from him, but I mean, I still have faith that Jota could probably come around very soon, because Liverpool is on fire, and have some really nice fixtures as well coming up. I had to bring in Brownhill because my bench was just so it was so poor, and I didn't want to take a hit as well. So I had to just bring because Antonio was on a red, Tanganga was on a red, so and Obafemi is out, so my bench was just clear. So I just had to just bring in Brownhill because I knew, of course, we're gonna slap Burnley, but I just had to bring him. I'm like, you know what, I'll just take the 2 points. It's okay. So that's why I brought him in. Of course, Salah giving me the points. Captain never disappoints, of course, and a goal and assist, very good as well from him. I brought in Bamford actually for Danny Ings, and I think that was a good decision. I personally think Bamford will actually score a lot of points in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Have very nice fixtures, Leeds, so that's the reason that's why I brought him in. Of course, got me 5 points, but I think going forward he'll probably get me a bit more points. So that is how it went. I didn't have someone to come on for Trent because my bench was just nil everyone. But I mean, not bad. I'm targeting to just have at least an average of 60 per week. I think with that I'll really have a good high rank at the end of the season. Not yet played my wildcard, still considering. But that's how my team performed, and still green arrows, and I'm good.
No, I feel like you're really lucky to get some green arrows with that team, especially with the likes of Trent not playing and the likes of Jota not performing. I think Alonso, was the guy who carried you. Was the game changer for you, and Rafinha. But then when you look at the ownership percentage, not a lot of differentials in your team. Maybe Bamford, and then now Alonso. I don't think his ownership is that high.
It's not that high yet.
Yeah. But okay. Definitely a good performance. We can look at my team now.
Definitely a good performance. Okay, let's see an excellent one then.
You can see I'm surprised. I can't even believe that this is what I got, right? Of course, you can see only 2 disappointments from my team, Aubameyang and Jimenez. And when you really look at it, those are very big disappointments because Aubameyang was due a goal in that game. Jimenez is past due a goal at this point in time. And given his stats, being the second most shots in the box, he's like the third most creative forward. I mean, the game is just not falling in his favor at this point in time. But yeah, definitely two players that I did not expect to leave me hanging. But as you can see, the rest of the team, they came home with the points. One thing you can notice for my team is one of the strategies I took when I was wildcarding, I decided I want to really spread the risk around, not double up on too many, not have too many double ups or too many triple ups. And that mentality is what got me to have the likes of Ismail Yassar in my team. I had him, this is the second game week I had him, and the last game week he was underwhelming with just a standard 2 points. But finally, that risk paid off big time. Him being, I think, one of the biggest scorers of Game Week 5. And was it a joy to see that differential payoff. The only transfer I made for Game Week 5 was I transferred out Luke Shaw for Cancelo. I actually quite felt so disappointed by Luke Shaw in the last 2 game weeks. And I was like, I don't want to have 2 Man United assets. And if they both end up, leaving me high and dry, then my chances are limited. So I had to upgrade him to Cancelo. And you see that paid off with that clean sheet. And again, the same decision I made when I decided to ship out. I shipped out Antonio for that game week where he got the red card. That was game week 3. Yeah. I think I foresaw it. I shipped him out and brought Aubameyang, and I decided let me stick with Benrahma. I felt like if Antonio is having a good game, Benrahma is having a good game. So I decided I'll gamble and have Benrahma instead of Antonio. And it paid off because Benrahma came in with also some really good points. I think as you can see, my team is differential is almost what percent? Almost 40% differential. Ismail Yassar, Odegaard, Jimenez, Aubameyang, Tierney, all those players are below, I think, 5% ownership.
This is like 50%.
That's 50% of my team was differential. So I know I'm lucky. To have scored. But this is the benefit of, this is one of the rare benefits of going differential, in that at least once it might pan out for you. But of course, I'm not deluded. I know that this is not the kind of team that is going to sustain, I think, my rankings going forward. So I'm already trying to think about how to, reduce some of that differential vibe in that squad as we build up for game week 6. But that's basically it for Game Week 5 from Dinosaurus.
No, I mean, you could have actually got a lot more if Ronaldo was more clinical, or had put away some of the chances, or maybe got a penalty or so. One of those penalties, and I mean, that was definitely a performance and a half. So I mean, good kudos to you. 93 points as well. I think I saw you about, I think, top 50k right now in the world.
No, I'm 48. I'm 48k. Wow. I mean, and it's due to this performance for sure. I mean, it catapulted me up into most of these leagues. In most of the mini leagues I was catapulted to position 1. So, and this is where the pressure comes now, because every decision is so critical. Because you feel like you don't want to make a wrong move, because now you've tasted glory and you want to be able to hold on to it, So I can tell you for sure, I'm really, really, really thinking and rethinking my moves right now. Of course,
knowing you, you're going to
overthink
this.
Cards. No, I overthink. But you see, it paid off. It is my overthinking that got me the 93. Remember that?
Okay,
because nobody else has Aubameyang.
True.
Nobody else has Ismail Yassar.
True.
At this point in time, especially in our mini league,
True.
So my overthinking really paid off at this point, but I
Yeah.
know it's at some point it's going to harm me. I know that for sure. I know that for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, good. I mean, you definitely, because I think I saw it on Saturday. I just saw that you're really gonna just pass me by. But you're not too far away from me. I think you're about 11 points away from me. So
Yeah, not too far. Not
we're
too far.
we're still there. We're still there, hanging in there.
Yeah, not too far. I can't wait for your wild card to flop.
Well, you'll wait, because I may use it. I may use it in like 4 or 5 game weeks to come.
All right, let's see how that goes. I guess
Yeah.
that's it from our teams. Basically, we'll
Yeah.
see how the teams performed.
Yeah.
The king of the game week was Ismail Yassar, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ismail Yassar takes it, and Antonio Rudiger
And
also.
Rudiger as well. Yeah, had a goal.
Same 15 points,
Assist,
goal and
bonus,
clean sheets,
yeah.
bonus. What a
Yeah.
performance. I feel like a Chelsea defender is now a must-have, essential.
I mean, let's even
it's,
look at it
and it's a
from.
matter of just pick whichever, because Rudiger is doing
Yeah.
the business, Thiago is
Yeah.
doing the business, Alonso is doing the business. I'm like, just get
I
whoever.
think this was my thinking even when I was looking at Alonso, bringing in Alonso. I mean, I was like, I must have a Chelsea defender in there. Now I'm actually considering doubling up Chelsea because especially from game week 7 after Man City, they have a good run of fixtures, and I'm just seeing a lot of clean sheets right there. That I mean, especially for the defenders, if you can jump onto maybe a Thiago or a Rudiger or a Christensen if he's playing. I mean, for me, that is something I'm really considering. A Chelsea double up defense. I don't know what guys think in the comment section. Maybe you can just let us know what do you think about
It's definitely a plan.
doubling up. Yeah,
it's definitely a plan. Now, I was reading an article that talked about how at this point in time, having a premium defender is almost a must. Is a must-have because when you look at the fixtures so far, the premium defenders being, of course, Cancelo, Trent Alexander, Alonso, Diaz, Ruben Diaz, Robertson. Who else?
Yeah, mostly those. Maybe Shaw.
Mostly those. But Shaw actually is the one who
his arm is underwhelming.
In the list of the premium defenders, he's the one who underperforms because all these guys I've mentioned have kept at least 4 clean sheets now.
Yeah,
at least 4 clean sheets. Majority of them have an attacking return, be it a goal or an assist or 2.
Yeah,
but Shaw has
Van
neither.
Dijk.
Yeah, Shaw has neither a clean sheet, no. But he has an assist. He has 1 assist.
He has an assist. Though Van Dijk as well also has. I think he has an assist as well. He had an assist, I think, in the previous game. Actually, 2 assists.
Yeah, so maybe we should do an episode where we highlight the defenders from these teams, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and look at them and try to get the best value out of these defenders. Also, with an eye on the fixtures, try to see when is the most ideal time to own who, Yeah, maybe that can help some of our viewers. Okay, I think that pretty much covers it. We can have a look at some of the comments just to see maybe what guys are saying with regards to game week 5. I have a comment there from Nelson. Thank you for joining. Yeah, this guy is a friend of mine from high school. Tuchel using the Conte model 352. Yeah, definitely. And I think I just mentioned this. I was saying Tuchel saw what worked for Chelsea, and he went back to that. He just kept it simple.
And this is the thing. I think we're even talking about it when we're watching the game. How well drilled this team is. They know exactly what they need to do. They all know what their role is. They know the positionings they need to be in at each point in time. I think that team is really well drilled, and I mean they're the team to beat this season.
And the truth is, a lot of the teams actually will struggle to find a weakness with this Chelsea team because the system is good, but then each individual player is tailor-made for that position. You have the likes of Alonso being tailor-made for attacking fullback, as Pilqueta as well. Rudiger is coming into his own as a centre back. Of course, Thiago showing the experience. Edward Mendy, arguably the best keeper in the league since he came he came into the league, arguably the best keeper in the league. Oh, now they have Lukaku, of course, a professional when it comes to scoring. Kante,
you have
can
Kovacic,
see Kante, and those guys bringing the best out of the likes of Kovacic.
Yeah,
and remember the likes of Ziyech and Havertz are yet to hit form. You know.
Yeah.
They are yet to hit form. They are yet to hit
Pulisic as well.
Their performances. Yeah. So this team is a scary team.
The depth in that squad is super scary.
This team is a scary
as
team.
well. But again, I think it just comes down to also good management and good coaching as well, because they are really well trained. They know exactly what they need to do. There's clarity of basically what they need to do.
Purpose,
yeah.
All right, another comment there. You can read that one.
Mo is saying, I have one Chelsea defender. It's Christensen. Doubling up is a bad idea, I think, because they're against City. Yeah, actually the point with which I actually mentioned, that doubling up on Chelsea defense is not necessarily even about Man City game. I think from game week 7, I think up to like 11, they have a very beautiful run of fixtures. But this is not to say they kept 3 clean sheets against Man City last season. So why not? It's not that they can't do it again. You know.
Yeah. And this is where we were talking. Remember our first episode when we were talking about looking at some of these things and looking at form of a fixture. You know, sometimes we really prioritize fixture, not at the expense of form. When we study the form, you look at Man City. They've scored. They are one of the highest scorers in the league this season. Yes, but look at the kind of teams they've scored against. Right?
Yeah,
they've not really played a defensively solid team. They have not really come against a defensively solid team. So all their goals are more or less you would expect them to score. Another thing, Man City are struggling with a striker at this point in time. Remember, they're trying to play that false 9, which is a hit and miss. You know, it's a hit when they're playing these defensively frail teams. But then when they come against the likes of Chelsea, who have the best defense arguably in Europe right now, it can be a whole other ball game, because of course those cutbacks that they try to use might be nullified in a very easy way. So look at it this way: it's a weakened Man City attack in that they're struggling for a striker, and against a very dominant Chelsea defense. And by dominant, I mean both physically, pace. And intelligence. These players are reading the game. They are positioning themselves. There's no way you can find a loophole unless a mistake.
And again, these defenders provide attacking returns as well. So I mean,
doubling up more. I think to more there, doubling up might not be such a bad idea. But then the challenge is, of course, especially for you who owns Christensen, is the selection dilemma, because Christensen is not maybe at the top of the pecking order in terms of selection, because he seems to prefer having Aspilicueta, and he's playing with Aspilicueta and
he's playing with Aspilicueta,
Thiago, Rudiger, Alonso, and
Alonso. So sometimes Christensen. Most likely, Christensen will play, but as well, they have Malangsa as well is there, just waiting as well.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Queen V appearing on the comments today. I should have held on to Ivan Toney.
I actually thought she did have. I thought she actually did have Ivan Toney.
No, she was guarded and got rid of him like a hot piece of coal.
But she was guarded and had a good performance as well. I think she scored about 73 points or something.
Yeah. She had
kudos to you, Queen V.
But it would have been better, of course, with Ivan Toney there.
Yeah.
I've actually not thought about owning Ivan Toney. For me personally, he's one of the players that I've not had in my team yet. And even as the game weeks are going, I've not yet thought about him, because I'm not too confident about Brentford as an attacking outfit. I feel like, yes, they'll get the few goals here and there, but I can't trust them to be, prolific, if I can use that word. So
and again, I think if you're to look at Brentford attack, if you're to ask me, if you're looking for a Brentford attacker who is getting most of the chances at Brentford, is Mbeumo. He's actually getting more chances than Ivan Toney. I think Ivan Toney, it's mostly because he's on penalties. I think that's why you would probably go for him. But in terms of someone who's getting the chances, I think Mbeumo is actually getting them even a bit more. Probably that could change, but Ivan Toney is not for me someone I'm really thinking about a lot.
Yeah, me too. Maybe he will change our minds.
Yeah.
Mo has come back with another, but Pep always seems to get revenge, and because Tuchel dominated him last season, he's going to play a different style that might surprise Tuchel. I mean, Mo, we were just talking about this just now. I think you had us talking about this, and we're saying it's high time that Pep redeems his name, against Tuchel. But then we all know Pep has a tendency of overthinking, and sometimes he overthinks those tactics to his detriment, because Tuchel is going to keep it simple. Tuchel is going to keep it direct.
Yeah.
And I think that might be the Achilles heel for Pep Guardiola. But let's wait and see. If he deploys, I think his asset for that game has to be Kevin De Bruyne and Raheem Sterling. Of course, these are perhaps the two best players in that team. And now he has Jack Grealish. Now he has Jack Grealish at his disposal. I think if he can manage to unlock those three players, then the supporting cast, can definitely join in to do a wonderful job. But it's not looking too good for Tuchel for sure.
Guardiola. For Pep, this is the thing again about football. And I think we talked about it when talking about the 10 commandments of FPL, is that it's not about feelings that he's gonna get revenge or something. It's about what you do on the pitch. Can you be able to get it done on the pitch, over 90 minutes? Can you be able to come and overcome tactical difficulties? And as we've been talking about just over this episode, how well drilled this Chelsea side is in terms of the clarity of purpose of play, which they actually have. And we're talking about a team that's actually struggling for goals in Man City against, especially now Southampton. Now, how much more against a dominant defense Chelsea side? I think that's going to be a very interesting game. Of course, tactically, that would be a very tight game. But we're going to talk about it. Yeah.
Let's talk about this in the preview.
I was actually so that
we don't preempt.
To the preview show so that we talk about this even a bit more.
All right. I guess that covers it for our Game Week 5 review show. Exciting Game Week it was. We're looking forward, of course, to Game Week 6. As like we said, the Premier League is really building up right now. Fever pitch. The football is a must watch. Let me just say that it's a must watch.
Have you changed your prediction for who's gonna win now?
I predicted Man City to win, I think, right?
Yeah.
Now I think let's talk in Game Week 10. Let's talk in Game Week 10.
It could even be tighter by then.
Let's talk in game. I need to see a bit more of what Chelsea are doing, what Man City are doing, what Liverpool
United are doing.
We know what United are doing. They're depending on Cristiano. What else are they doing? United fans, let us know in the comment section. What else are you doing?
What else is there for you besides Ronaldo?
But Pogba is having the season of his life. And I think he's gonna get a couple more assists, because now he's of course playing with one of the world's best goal scorers. But okay, United with an outside chance. Here's a small pun for United fans. This conversation that was really going on about Ben White versus Rafael Varane. And it turns out 5 game weeks in, Ben White has actually more clean sheets than Rafael Varane. Interestingly,
And he only has 2.
Let's wait. Let's wait and see how this ages. It might not age so well. All right, that's it for our show, everyone. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for taking the time to join us. Again, we continue to invite you to subscribe, like our content, share, help us build the FPL community. We're trying to grow to 1,000 subscribers and even more. And also, we're on the lookout for, some great energy on the show. So if you're out there and you'd like to participate, on the show, we can have you on, hear your FPL thoughts and ideas, look at your team, laugh at your performance, or be impressed by your performance. All this and so much more. So reach out to us on our comment section, on our social medias. We'll be happy to have you on the show.
Yeah. Great show, bro. And looking forward to game week 6 review show. So please tune in. We'll be having that even as the week comes along.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night.
See you. Peace.